Hey guys, it's Jason from the General Corner Repair Channel. Today I am on an adventure. Today's adventure is saying yes to something that I probably should not say yes to, but I'm going to still go for it. And that is a dental lab room, cleaning it. And this is where all their mills are. And so this is literally looks like somebody kind of drop kicked a bag of flour in there and kind of cleaned it up. So I'm going to actually try to take this job on. The customer trusts us a lot. And so this is going to be an adventure. So I figured I might as well make a video out of it. My first stop here is right here. I am at the repair clinic. The repair clinic is actually one of my really cool neighbors. That's part of my business that I like, is that I look around. There's all these really cool businesses near me. And the repair clinic is where I can get any sort of appliance repair part, from just something for my refrigerator to something for my oven. And I seem to remember that in there, they have a special vacuum attachment that goes underneath appliances. So I'm going to go ahead and buy one of these, as well as any other sort of vacuumy kind of thing. And so this is going to be step one of the process. So I just wanted to let you guys know what I was doing. And then today I'll probably just take a couple videos along the way just to see either how good or how bad of an idea this was. Thanks. I want to give a shout out to Matt Lau. I appreciate you, from Uptime Health. Matt was like, dude, you should make a video about this. And I was like, okay, didn't really think about that. So Matt, I appreciate you, brother. I hope you're doing well today, and I'm very grateful for you. All right, so let's go. All right, so that was a shocker. Repair Clinic did not have it. So I guess next stop, Lowe's or Home Depot, and I'll try to get something that will work for this job. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. I asked them if they had anything to help clean underneath a appliance, and strangely, they said no. So most of their repairs, I think, start with like cleaning the unit. So that was interesting. They didn't have it. So that's all right. We'll just roll with what we're given, and we'll just continue on. Hey guys, this job has been something else. So cleaning out these vacuums is quite the ordeal. I do have a process going, and so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and walk you through that. This is definitely a really messy, it's just a messy job. So I'll bring you in here, and then I'll show you the last one. Basically what I'm doing is I'm vacuuming out the unit, and then I'm also replacing two of the filters. So I'll set you up so you can kind of see what this takes, but what a pain. This room right here is full of all of these vacuum units. Now the purpose of the vacuum units is they're cleaning out the material from the mills as they mill different types of material. So this screw that I'm taking off is for this bottom portion. This is where all the dust gets collected. This particular one was way over full, and this was heavy. So it was probably about maybe, I'd say it's probably more than 10 pounds of material. So what I was doing was I kind of jiggled it out and tried to get a trash can there. And just imagine baking flour. That's exactly the consistency of this material, and it was really dense. So what I could only fill the trash can so full of it, but it was a little bit of a struggle to get it out, and took me a couple tries to kind of bounce it, bang it, get the stuff out of there. So once it came out, there was all the material that had kind of fell over the sides into the container. So this process, the lab actually had its own vacuum system built in, and so I put a nozzle on it that I had obtained from Home Depot, and then just kind of slowly, I kind of brushed all the material to a corner, and then that allowed for me to kind of like suck it up. And this is where a majority of the dirtiness kind of came from, because you really have to like get in there to do it. And the next thing that I did was, there's actually a filter. Now the filter is what protects the blower motor from the material that's inside the box. So the flow of air goes from the lower area and up. So these little, there was like little hand screws. And so once I unscrewed it, I was able to kind of work in getting the filter out, and it took a little bit of figuring out because there was like a little bit of a bar that would hold it down. So I would have to remove the bars, and I chose to go ahead and do a little bit of pre-cleaning in there because there was a bunch of material kind of all over this thing. Again, it was completely filthy. I mean, if you look at my hands, they're just completely full of material. And then I used the tray to go ahead and capture all the material that was caked up inside of the filter, because it's a pleated filter, and you can kind of see how full it is of material. So once that old filter was out, in order to kind of keep a good flow, I took the new filter out, and it comes in a bag, so it's really, I just set that off to the side, and then I used the old box to house the filter so that all that crap wouldn't fall out everywhere. And I didn't drop it because I didn't want to get like shot in the face with all that stuff. But that made for a pretty easy way to capture the material, and then into, get that out of there. Now that right there is this little shaker thing. It has a motor, and that's what it's designed to do, is automatically clean out the clean out the filter by shaking periodically. But I used the vacuum to continue to clean out all the material that was in there, and it just was a lot of detail work. And so once we kind of worked that around, I was able to get everything fairly clean. And there was another filter on the top, and ergonomically this thing sucked. I don't know if there's any other way that would be easier than what I did, but it was kind of like, as I disconnected everything, it just kind of like the dust kind of just kept falling out of there. So again, I mean, you can just tell the whole thing that I'm doing is taking it apart, vacuuming, taking it apart, vacuuming, taking it apart, vacuuming. And the same thing, another smaller filter, and the filter does have a seal on one side and has directional arrows on the other. So you just have to make sure that when I think the seal went up, the filter then went back in the box just like the other one did. And once that's in there, I oriented it so that black seal is facing up. And then the bar, I only took half the bar off, so that meant that I just had to like rotate up the bar to retrain it. To kind of retain it. And ergonomically, yeah, this sucked. I think I had to do 6 of these, and it was funny because a customer, when I was saying, hey, I'm sorry that this took 5 hours, and he was like, had told me he did it in 3, and I was apologizing for 5 hours, and he's like, dude, you did 6 of them in 5 hours. He goes, it took me 3 hours to do 1. And so I misinterpreted him. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting the filter in there, and then that bar that has the shaker on it goes in, and it's kind of like you have to put it in sideways and then rotate it. And that was a little bit of a puzzle to get in there. And then once you get it in there, you have to reach underneath at the lower level in order to get those screws on there. And The camera angle is a little tough to get on this because it was hard to really work in video, but in this angle you can kind of see how there's not a lot of room to get your hands in there. This is just not a really great job. But the customer was happy that we were able to get it done, and they had all the filters already on site. And this was a challenging job. Initially, I thought that maybe this job would have been I would have been overqualified for it. But the challenges that it posed were such that I don't think that a standard person would have necessarily been able to figure this out on their own. So again, just making sure that every screw that I took out I put back in, and that that way the unit would work well. So that's kind of my little, I'm done, knock my hands off and vacuum up all the stuff, and double checking security and double checking everything visually. Whenever you're doing a job like this, you want to make sure that you clean everything really good and use that as an opportunity to check everything's right. And so the only thing left is to put the bin back in. And on this particular unit, there's a way to reset the hours, and I did, so I got everything back together, and once these screws go back in, resetting the hours will reset the maintenance indicator so that you know the next time that it's due for maintenance. And that is part of the final piece here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, you have to push those two buttons together and hold them, and then I think there's some flashing that happens here, and the service filters light will go out, or system on flashes, and then the goal is to get the service filters light out. Yep, there you go. And then turn it off. Okay, and this was all per the manual, so there we go. That was quite the job. I did 6 of those units and also changed a motor. Plus I delivered a dental chair. So this is a dental chair that I get to put on my truck. So it's Friday. Whooped, it's like 5 p.m. And another good day. Thanks for checking out that little job with me, and I guess a little bit of exposure to what goes on inside of a dental lab. So you guys have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time.